What's going on, guys? It's Frankie with the Gomez Home Group at eXp Realty, and this is part 6 of touring Spring Hill, Florida. If you've been watching these videos, then you know what this series is all about. We're touring every main street of Spring Hill so you can get a better idea on the area and also decide if it's a good fit for you. If you have any questions about Spring Hill or you're moving to the Tampa Bay area in general, you can reach out using the contact information below, as always. And also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of my clients' sons, Vincent Ferry. I appreciate you watching, buddy. Alright, so let's jump right in. We're starting at Nature Coast Technical High School, which is actually the high school I went to, and it's a cool school because there's cluster programs, so you have things like medical, culinary, engineering, electrical. I believe there's also like a beauty one, or there's a bunch of different things that you can focus on for your 4 years, so depending on what you want to do after high school. But yeah, this is the gymnasium here on the right. The tennis courts, practice fields, baseball fields, softball fields, and football fields are all on this side of the school. They also have an automotive program, so it's pretty cool. This is actually located on California Street, and technically it's in Brooksville, but it's like right on the edge of Spring Hill. And our next stop here is going to be Chocochatty, which is a K through 5 school. This is an A-rated school in the area. Really not too much to show of this unless I broke into the schools and recorded them. But you can do some research on greatschools.org, and that's pretty much my go-to website. But there's other websites that you can check out, different schools and their ratings and stuff like that. This school is technically on the corner of Powell and California Street. So Powell and Elgin are kind of the same street. Elgin just turns into Powell eventually, but we're going to be covering mostly Elgin in this video, which is why I decided to only include Elgin in the title of this video. So now we're heading down Powell Road, which eventually will turn into Elgin, and we're going to stop here at a new community that is called Valleybrook. The homes in here are starting at $360,000. It says mid 300s on this sign, but yeah, it starts at $360,000 for the smallest home. HOA fees in here are going to be $123 per month, and there's not going to be any CDD fees. There's the model home right there that we just passed by. It's your generic new community these days, not the biggest lots, and a national builder coming in to pretty much provide housing for people in a growing area. In my opinion, they're likely going to reduce prices eventually. That's just my opinion, though. That's just what I've seen with other neighborhoods that have come to Spring Hill. They start high and then they end up lowering them 6 months, a year after. It just depends on the type of community and the demand at that current time. But they do have quick move-in homes right now that are available with special financing, and I can send you that information if you'd like. You can reach out to me, as always, using the contact information below. So now we're back on Powell Road, and we're going to make a right here on Gloucester, I think it's pronounced. And this is Oakwood Acres. It's kind of like an equestrian style community. This is the entrance to it, or one of the entrances. But as you can see, they have these white gates, larger homes, as you saw right there on the right. And the lots are going to be probably at least an acre, at least most of the time. You're looking at probably $100,000 or more for a lot in this neighborhood, and you'll see a combination of both older homes and newer homes. It just depends, but there's no builders in here, but you can find a local builder to build a home in here for you, or you can look for resale, but I would imagine that most of them are going to be in that 500 plus range, just because of the pure size of the lot, the size of the home, and typically they'll have RV parking or a shed, something along those lines. You'll see some of it in this video. But in my opinion, this is a great location. You're close to the Suncoast Parkway, which you're about to see here. You're close to great schools like Challenger, which we'll check out next, Chocochatty, Nature Coast. I mean, depending on how far deep in here you live, your kids could probably walk to school or ride their bike. But yeah, I'll let you guys check out the rest of this part of Oakwood Acres, and then we will reconvene. If you stuck around this long and you find this content valuable, be sure to hit that like button below. YouTube loves when you do that, and also subscribe for future content on Spring Hill and the Tampa Bay area. Alright, so I pulled off into that driveway for a second just to give you a different angle and to show you the types of houses that are built in here, the size, the style. It's kind of giving that farmhouse vibe, and obviously larger homes, probably close to 3,000 or more square feet. But yeah, we're back on Powell now. We passed Deerfield, which we covered in part 1 when we covered Spring Hill Drive, and then we're also passing on the left here Springwood Estates, and we covered that in part 1 as well. It's Florida, so it started to rain a little bit on and off. I had to get my windshield wipers up to speed to kind of clear a little bit, but it clears up in a little bit here. Yeah, on the right here is Silverthorne, which is a community we're going to cover in the part 7, which is our last part of the series. So we'll check out Silverthorne then. But this is one of the plazas nearby. I'm going to completely butcher this, but Di Cristofaro's is an Italian restaurant. It just got rebranded. They have some outdoor seating there, as you can see. And there's also in this side of the plaza that we have a couple of different things like barbershops, pet grooming, animal clinic, Fuji Hibachi Express, which I actually just had this weekend, Beer Frog. There is also, I believe, a Chinese place, and a smoke shop, and a So Cheek hair salon. And then we also have a Juicy's, which is a juice bar. You'll get a better look at the plaza here. And then Game Quest, I'm not sure what Game Quest is. It's also a dry cleaner. Beer Frog is a liquor store and a bar, small bar. What I just zoomed in on there was Powell Middle School. My niece actually goes there right now. We just crossed over Barclay, which is the last street that we're going to cover in the next video. And now we're approaching the Pristine Place, which we also covered in part 1. That's that brick wall right there. That's all Pristine Place. And then it kind of blends in with Sterling Hill, as you'll kind of see here. But this is Challenger K through 8, which is a K through 8 school. They're one of the better schools in the area. You can check that out on greatschools.org. Don't know too much. I didn't go here. I went to J.D. Floyd Elementary, which was like right around my corner from my house, and I actually did ride my bike to school during that time. And that was also a K through 8 school as well. But it's very presentable school. It looks very nice, well maintained. It's a larger school than most middle schools in the area, or K through 8s in the area. And those houses you see back there in the background, that's all Sterling Hill. Look at the sky, completely like dark, and then you turn around and it's blue. I'm not sure if you guys experience that in other states. Most of the people that watch these videos are from out of state, so leave a comment below if you want to talk about that. But I think it's crazy sometimes the difference in the sky just by which way you're facing here in Florida. As you saw, we were just getting rained on and now it's sunny. So back onto Elgin. This is Elgin now. And we're going to get I actually did a video on Sterling Hill, so I have some footage that's a little bit better than just driving, so I did a combination of the two. So here's some drone footage of the entrance into Sterling Hill. As you can see, there's multiple subdivisions. So those darker paved roads are gated entrances to different subdivisions of Sterling Hill. Not all of them are gated. I think there's one or two that aren't. Might be mistaken there, but they do have basketball, tennis courts, 2 community pools, 2 clubhouses, playgrounds. HOA in here is, well, let's talk about this. They also have a splash pad, volleyball, sand volleyball, and then here's one of the playgrounds. The HOA does range from $75 to $125 per year, and this is, I believe, like $50 a month. It's boat and RV storage or trailer storage. Driving in here into the parking lot of one of the clubhouses. And CDD in here ranges as well. So that's Community Development District fees. They range from $1,200 or $1,100 to about $2,100, depending on the subdivision you live in. You'll see though that the places with higher fees, communities with higher fees, typically the prices aren't cheaper, but relatively speaking, they're cheaper. So a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in Spring Hill, non-HOA, maybe $400,000, for example. A house in here, because it's you have to pay fees, monthly and yearly fees, maybe it's $350 or $360. It just depends on the particular house and what you're actually comparing, like apples to apples. But here's some drone footage of one of the communities in here, or one of the subdivisions in here. This is one of the newer subdivisions, as you can probably tell from the houses. I believe this is Barrington. I don't know all the different subdivision names, but I'm very familiar with this. That was Brackenwood right there. And now we're back onto Elgin. We are heading northeast, west. We're heading west. There's some residential stuff going on here on the right that's non-HOA, but we are going to check out one more HOA community, and that's Sandridge. Sandridge is a low HOA community. There's no amenities. It's $35 a month. It is gated. It's starting to rain again. This is a nice community because it gives you the security that you want, that your neighbors are going to take care of their lawn, because there's regulations against that or restrictions against that. But you also don't have to pay for all the amenities like pools, clubhouses, sports courts, and all that stuff. So it's a good mix between a non-HOA community and some of those master plan communities that offer a bunch of amenities. And that's completely up to you. Some people prefer HOA communities or master plan communities, and some people don't really care for it because they're not going to get use out of everything that's offered. There's nicer homes in here. They're newer-ish, just depends, again. But I would say a lot of them were built in the late 90s and 2000s. I'm not sure if you could tell from the map, but this community was pretty much just one straight road with like 5 different left turns that go to a roundabout. So that's what we're driving through right now. It's not a huge community, it's actually pretty small, especially when you compare it to Sterling Hill. This is like one of the subdivisions in Sterling Hill, and Sterling Hill has like 6 or 7 different subdivisions. Just gonna get some water. Another roundabout. I really like this, or cul-de-sac, sorry. I really like this community, to be honest. It's nice. The homes are all well maintained. The streets are well maintained, and I would love to live on a cul-de-sac. And there's obviously a lot of houses in here that are on cul-de-sacs. I didn't look into the pricing as of right now with the current listings on market, but if I had to guess, I would say for a pool home, probably 400,000 or more. For a non-pool home, probably maybe a little bit more actually, maybe like 425 plus, and then 350 plus or 375 plus for a non-pool home. Again, that community was $35 per month HOA. Just past Landover, which, as the name kind of describes, goes across all of Spring Hill in like a circle. So like it pretty much circles through Northcliff, through Spring Hill Drive, through Mariner, and then through Elgin. We just passed Mariner, and now we're just going to check out, for the rest of this video, we're pretty much going to check out non-HOA housing or neighborhoods. Pretty much the whole stretch from where we are now to the end of Elgin, you're going to be looking at like 240 to 250,000 for smaller homes here, like maybe like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet, and then 3 2s around 1,500 square feet, which is like the base. You could say maybe 280 to 320 depending on the updates, or if it has a pool, maybe a little bit more. And then larger homes with pools probably maxing out at like 420, and larger homes in general maybe like 375, or even a little bit lower, honestly, maybe like 350. It just depends. Again, I'm talking generic numbers, just based on my knowledge of the area. Not really looking specifically at comps, but just to give you guys a high level idea on what houses in this area cost. For example, in another area of Spring Hill, a larger pool home could go for 500,000, 600,000. In this neighborhood, you're probably looking at like 420 to 450 max. And these are things that I think a lot of people should know, whether you're just buying for yourself or buying to invest. You should know about specific areas and the max value you can get out of them, because if you do buy a home here and you add $150,000 to it with a pool, landscaping, upgrades in the kitchen, all that stuff, you might be overdoing your house to never get the money back. Well, I wouldn't say never get the money back, but you would have to live in it longer to get the money back and wait on the appreciation throughout the years. There's really not much going on outside of housing in this area. You are close to 50, that gray line right there, up there, you can see it. That's 50 or Cortez Boulevard. Here's another neighborhood though, off of Elgin. Everything that I said previously applies to this area as well, pretty much the remainder of the video. Off of Elgin, you're probably 5 to 8 minutes from a Publix on Mariner, 5 to 10 minutes to, if maybe less depending on how far, but we'll just say 5 to 10 minutes, depending on where you're located on Elgin or off of Elgin, to a Walmart. All the shopping is on Cortez or State Road 50, which we covered in part 4, I believe. So you can check out that video to reference that, but you're probably 5 to 10 minutes from everything. Spring Hill's kind of like that though. There's enough development that has been done, whether it's shopping, groceries, restaurants, where no matter where you live, you'll be 5 to 10 minutes from a Publix or a grocery store or Walmart or a neighborhood market. It gets a little bit less close which less close is like 15 to 20 minutes, so it's really still not that bad. But when it comes to stuff like, nicer restaurants, things to do like the Weeki Wachee River, like I'm probably like 20 minutes from there. Hernando Beach, I'm like 23 minutes from there. So it just depends where you land, but regardless of where you end up in Spring Hill, you're gonna have conveniences close by. We're actually pulling onto Landover here, so as you can see, Landover kind of goes all over Spring Hill. It's like a big circle. It is hot. I went to the gym and I took pre-workout. Now I'm just sweating. I believe this is close to our last stop on Elgin. I really don't have much else for you guys as far as commentary or narration, so I'm going to let everybody go, finish the video. As always, if you have any questions, or you're looking to move here, or you're looking to move to Tampa, reach out using the contact information in the description below. I'd love to help. And I appreciate you guys watching, and make sure to subscribe for future videos.